There is a long list of unspoken rules that women over 50 seem to be forced to follow. No one reads them out loud, and they are not written down in law. But they exist, in the gentle comments that come across as judgments, in the looks we get from others, and even in our own thoughts as we stand in front of the mirror each morning. I have heard these statements in my 40-plus years as a hairstylist. And what saddens me most is not that anyone ever says them. It is that so many women believe them, and gradually forget that their hair is theirs, not society's or anyone else's. Meanwhile, hair, this seemingly small detail, is the most powerful expression of personal identity. It is more than just the part of the scalp that grows out. It is a memory, a declaration, a milestone. It could mark a rebirth after a crisis, a daring after years of silence, or simply a decision to live for yourself. Based on over 40 years of experience styling thousands of women of all backgrounds, ethnicities, and personalities, I've come up with 5 hairstyles that will not only make you look younger, but will also make you feel closer to yourself. These hairstyles are not fads. Choose again because you deserve to feel confident every time you look in the mirror. 1. The blunt bob. Youthful look created by a confident cut. They say beauty fades with time, but what if we simply need to redefine what beauty looks like at every stage of our lives? One of the most transformative cuts I've ever worked with, and the one that consistently surprises both clients and onlookers, is the timeless, no-nonsense, confidence-boosting blunt bob. Simple in shape, bold in effect, and absolutely age-defying when done right. Let's dive deeper into what makes this hairstyle a true modern classic for women over 50, and why it's so much more than just a haircut. Woman getting haircut. What is a correct blunt bob style? At its core, the blunt bob is defined by a clean, straight-across cut, with zero layering and no feathered ends. It can fall anywhere from just under the chin to grazing the shoulders, depending on your face shape and personal comfort zone. Its close cousin, the lob, long bob, offers a slightly extended version, perfect for those who want a little more length without losing the geometric strength of the cut. Unlike layered or texturized styles, the blunt bob doesn't attempt to disguise your hair's natural form. Instead, it embraces structure, delivering a crisp, polished silhouette that gives off both elegance and edge. DNA scientific and aesthetic benefits. Why does it really help you look younger? Here's the science-backed beauty secret no one tells you. Visual density is one of the most powerful illusions in hairstyling. As we age, our hair naturally becomes finer, especially around the crown and part line. The strands themselves shrink in diameter, and we experience reduced follicle activity, meaning fewer hairs per square inch. When you cut the hair into one solid, unified length, with no thinning, no tapering, and no layers, the bottom line appears thicker, stronger, and more substantial. This gives the entire head of hair a denser look, even if the actual volume hasn't changed. This illusion of fullness plays directly into the way the human brain perceives youth. Studies have shown that people instinctively associate full, uniform hair with vitality, fertility, and youth, which means this cut can have a subconscious impact on how others see you, too. The bonus? That sharp, architectural shape lifts the face visually, acting almost like a soft contour around the jawline, especially helpful for those noticing slackening around the chin and neck. Red Heart Margaret's story, 68 and rediscovering herself. I'll never forget Margaret. She was 68, from Chicago, with silver strands that once flowed down her back, but over time, had thinned into wisps that no longer gave her confidence. She had been told by not one, but 3 different stylists that she needed to cut it short and layer it for her age. And so she did, reluctantly. But every time, she walked out of the salon feeling older, not better. When she came to me, she didn't ask for a miracle. She just asked for a change. I suggested a shoulder-length blunt bob, no layers, just structure. She looked surprised. But won't that make me look too severe? She asked. 2 weeks later, she called me, crying. James, she said, my grandkids told me I look 10 years younger. But more than that. I feel like myself again. I can't stop smiling. That's the quiet power of the blunt bob. It doesn't just change your appearance, it reconnects you to the parts of yourself you thought were gone. Woman scientist, which face shape is it suitable for? What makes this cut truly adaptable is how well it suits a wide range of face shapes, with the right customization. Oval face, the most versatile. Any length of blunt bob works beautifully. Heart-shaped face, a blunt bob with subtle curtain bangs can balance the wider forehead and taper toward the chin. Square face, a chin-length bob with soft, curved ends can soften a strong jaw. Round face, a longer blunt bob, lob, that ends just past the chin creates vertical lines to elongate the face. Even if you've always been told, you can't pull off a bob, I promise you, with the right cut, length, and confidence, you can. Alarm clock suitable for busy women, simple but classy. One of the most common things I hear from women over 50 is this: I don't have time to fuss with my hair anymore. And that's another reason why the blunt bob is a godsend. This cut holds its shape naturally, no curling irons, no hour-long blowouts. Just a quick pass with a flat iron or round brush, and you're ready to take on the day. Plus, it grows out gracefully. A well-executed blunt bob will keep its silhouette for 6 to 8 weeks, using only minimal trims to stay sharp. Brain expert tip: how to avoid destroying your hair shape. Here's something crucial that many stylists get wrong. A lot of them instinctively want to texturize or add hidden layers, especially when working with mature clients, thinking it will make the hair move more naturally. But when it comes to a blunt bob, that's the opposite of what you want. Right arrow: be very clear with your stylist. I want a completely blunt, unlayered cut. Please don't point cut the ends. No thinning shears. And bring a photo. Always. It saves misunderstandings and ensures you're on the same page. Light bulb: slight variation: should we add fringe? Adding a sideswept fringe or curtain bangs can be a beautiful way to soften the look while maintaining that all-important straight baseline. It adds movement and draws attention to the eyes, another focal point that remains youthful and expresses no matter our age. 2. Mid-length with long layers. The perfect balance between grace and youthfulness. Over the years, I've heard countless confessions from clients who say they feel stuck with their current hair. Not brave enough to cut it short, but tired of their long, shapeless hair that's thinning over time. Many say, I don't want to sacrifice length, but I need a change. And every time I answer with the same hairstyle: mid-length with long layers, a medium-length hairstyle with soft layers strategically designed to flatter the changing face while retaining the inherent femininity and charm. DNA: why is this hairstyle perfect for women over 50? After 50, our bodies and faces enter a period of subtle reshaping. The jawline becomes softer, the neck begins to change slightly, and sometimes, the old hairstyle no longer fits as well as before. The beauty of this medium-length hairstyle is that it strikes the perfect balance between long enough to create a graceful look, and just enough shortness to not drag down the overall look. Strategically placed layers, starting at the chin or lower, help to frame the face, drawing the eye upward, creating a natural lift. No injections, no surgery, just a good understanding of proportion and movement. Straight ruler: the ideal length and subtle, just right. This hairstyle typically falls between the collarbone and 2 to 3 inches below the shoulder. It's the Goldilocks of the hairdressing world: not too long to be heavy, not too short to feel out of place. The highlight is the long, smooth layers, which help create soft movement around the face. Give hair volume without losing volume. Avoid flat, greasy hair, especially for those with thin hair. Woman getting haircut: Barbara's story, 65 years old and finding herself through layers. Barbara is a 65-year-old literature professor from Boston. A smart, sharp person, but her voice softens when talking about her hair. I look in the mirror and don't recognize myself anymore. I see a tired, dull woman. For years, Barbara kept her hair in one long layer, unstyled. It used to be a source of pride in her youth, but it gradually became a drag on her spirit. She no longer cared for it much, simply because she didn't see a reason to. We cut her a mid-length layered cut, keeping the length she loved, but refreshing it with layers around her face. We added light with some soft balayage, then created movement with soft mousse. When she looked in the mirror, her eyes welled up with tears. "It's been so long since I've seen myself," she whispered. But not the old me. This was a better, more relaxed version. Woman scientist: a scientific perspective: how layers can rejuvenate your face. Did you know? When the hair around your face has movement, it creates a natural frame effect, softens your features, and draws the eye up, the opposite of heavy, straight hair that tends to drag your face down. Long layers. Avoid scalp exposure on thin hair by keeping the thickness at the back. Create the illusion of thicker hair by distributing the weight properly. Conceal crow's feet around the eyes or jawline by slightly closing the sides. Counterclockwise arrows button: customize for each face type and hair texture. There is no one formula, but there are great principles. Round face should have longer layers, starting from under the chin, elongating the face. Long face, layers starting from the cheeks, creating width. Thin hair, keep light layers at the nape of the neck, concentrated around the face to avoid scalp exposure. Thick hair can add layers on both sides plus back to reduce weight. Sparkles: highly applicable, easy to style, easy to live with. You can blow dry with a round brush for a professional look. Use mousse to gently squeeze waves when going out. Let dry naturally for style: youthful boho style. Creating a super elegant half-up, half-down style for dinner. This length also allows for a neat tie when needed, perfect if you're still working, traveling, or exercising regularly. Lotion bottle care tips and stylist tips. To keep this hairstyle fresh. Trim every 8 to 10 weeks to avoid messy layers or losing shape. Use a lightweight, silicone-free volumizing mousse at the roots for volume. Apply a weightless shine serum to the ends for shine and smoothness. Pro tip. When blow drying, section the hair around your face into small sections and use a round brush to pull outwards and upwards. This opens up the face and creates a natural cheek lift. Speech balloon change doesn't mean sacrifice, it means choosing yourself again. You don't have to give up what you love to feel new. You just have to pick back up what's really serving you now. The mid-length layered haircut is the embodiment of that. Not giving up on length. Not chasing trends. Just listening to your face, your age, your emotions, and responding with a smart choice. 3. The game-changing fringe, a light roofline, a whole new look. When women hit their 50s, something happens quietly. They start to shy away from changes, especially when it comes to their hair. Not because they don't want to look good, but because they're afraid of going wrong. A fear that the wrong hairstyle will make them look older, more rigid, more out of place. Among the many hairstyles I've done on thousands of amazing women, there's one small detail, but it can change your entire look in minutes: fringes. Light bulb fringe isn't baby bangs, it's a frame that redefines your look. Fringes come in many forms. Wispy fringe, light, dewy bangs. Side-swept fringe, delicate, seductive fringe. Curtain bangs, bangs that open in the middle, gently framing the face. Blunt bangs, thick, bold, and straight bangs. Choppy fringe, bangs that are asymmetrical, modern, and unconventional. The great thing is, just choosing the right fringe style that suits your face and personality can completely change the way others, and you, see your look. Fringe doesn't have to make you 20 years younger. It just needs to brighten your look, soften your face, and draw the focus back to your eyes, which hold more than any wrinkle can tell. Microscope the aesthetic and scientific benefits. Why fringe is especially good after 50. There are two undeniable things about the face after 50. Emotional lines begin to appear in the forehead, something that many people feel self-conscious about. Facial bone structure becomes softer, especially around the cheekbones and jaw. Fringes, when cut correctly, gently cover the forehead, open up the view, and create balance between the forehead, eyes, cheekbones. Visually, hair is like a curtain that is gently pulled down, blurring what you want to hide, and highlighting what you want to show. Glasses Eleanor's story, 73, finding herself through a lock of hair. Eleanor is a former elementary school teacher from Asheville, North Carolina. When she walked into the salon, she said, "I know I have a high forehead. When I was younger, I was proud of it. But now, I feel like people just look at it." We sat down and looked at old photos, listening to her talk about her youth, about her first time teaching, about her wedding day, about her daughter's graduation. All of these moments featured a radiant Eleanor, one she no longer recognized in the mirror. "We're not changing her," I suggested. "We're just bringing people's eyes back to where they should be, to her eyes." We cut a slight side-swept fringe. Just a few strands. But when she turned back to the mirror, she whispered, "There I am." Direct hit suitable for each face shape. Fringe is not picky, just understand. Heart-shaped face, curtain fringe helps balance a wide forehead and small chin. Oval face, wispy or curtain fringe both highlight soft lines. Square face, side-swept fringe helps soften the angles, creating a feminine feel. Round face, asymmetrical bangs, cut long on one side to help lengthen the face. Right arrow. There is no such thing as a face that doesn't suit bangs. There are only bangs that are not designed properly for that face. Brain expert warning: a beautiful fringe can make you look younger, the wrong fringe can do the opposite. Fringes are a double-edged sword if not handled properly. Cut too thick creates a heavy feeling, reveals flaws. Cut too short or at the wrong angle makes the face look stiff or unbalanced. Therefore, choose a stylist who understands middle-aged hair texture. Always bring a sample image for easy visualization and discussion. And if you trim at home, absolutely do not use regular scissors or cut across. Scissors expert tip at home: keep fringe soft and youthful for a long time. Use specialized scissors, cut using the point cutting technique, lightly cut along the hair tip. Blow dry in the direction of hair growth, use a small round brush to create a slight curve. Dry shampoo is fringe's best friend, helps absorb oil and keeps bangs bouncy between washes. Don't force fringe to be perfect, the just right is natural always more glamorous than fake neatness. Lotion bottle. How does a fringe work well with other hairstyles? A fringe doesn't work alone, it's a finishing touch that makes any hairstyle more interesting. Blunt bob plus fringe, full of personality, unconventional but still neat. Mid-length layers plus curtain fringe, soft, elegant, cute. Bixie plus choppy fringe, bold, modern, artistic. Your hair doesn't need to change completely. Just add a highlight to brighten up the whole look. Speech balloon fringe, not just hair, but a subtle introduction to you. You don't have to prove anything with your hair, but you can convey a lot with it. A well-cut fringe can say, "I don't hide my age. I just choose to make it more beautiful. I'm still me, but a more intentional version." 4. The Bixie, a small cut for a big comeback. Some hairstyles come and go, and some stay and grow with you. For many clients over 50, the Bixie is more than just a haircut. It's a statement. Not as short as a pixie, not as formal as a bob, the Bixie is a haircut that sits at the intersection of casual, daring, and trendy. And as its name suggests, a mix of bob and pixie, it embraces individuality while respecting the changes your body and face undergo over time. Woman getting haircut. What is a Bixie? And why is it the secret weapon for youthfulness? The Bixie hairstyle typically consists of short, layered hair at the crown, creating volume and natural texture. Longer hair around the face and nape, creating a slight movement and soft frame. Choppy, sideswept or curtain bangs can be added for added depth. The difference lies in the proportions and layering. While pixies are typically very short and bobbed evenly, Bixies break the symmetry, creating a lively and playful artistic look. DNA. Why this hairstyle helps rejuvenate naturally. When entering the age of 50+, women often face hair gradually thinning at the crown and hairline, facial loss of tension and clear volume, feeling of losing style due to having safe hair for too long. The Bixie style solves all three problems intelligently. Short layers at the crown create natural volume in areas where hair often falls flat. Hair gently hugs the cheekbones and jaw, creates a lifting effect, softens the lines. Intentional hair texture makes you look individual, modern, stylish. And the best part? It doesn't try to make you look 30 years younger, it just makes you look like the most vibrant, energetic, and true version of yourself right now. Open book. Patricia, 67, and the hair that was once forbidden. Patricia, a retired executive, came into the salon with a crumpled magazine in her hand. The photo she held was of a young model with a edgy Bixie cut. "People said I was too old for this," she says. "But I had it all my 30s and 40s. And now I need it more than ever." We tweaked it together. Keep the layers soft around the face. Create a little volume at the top. Keep one side a little longer, a trendy twist. When the cut was done, no one in the room said a word. Patricia stood taller. She smiled more. She glowed. And no one in the room saw her age anymore, just a woman who had come back to herself. Artist palette. Customize Bixie to your personality and face. Do you like classic? Choose soft cuts, light layers, and no asymmetry. Want to be bolder? Choose choppy bangs, slightly messy texture, or asymmetrical. Do you have an oval face? You suit most Bixie variations. Square or angular face. Add soft sideswept bangs to soften the lines. Heart-shaped face or high forehead. Bixie with fringe is perfect. Most importantly, Bixie doesn't require you to change yourself, it bends to you. Lotion bottle care and styling, simple but effective. Busy women often love Bixie because just 4 to 5 minutes in the morning to refresh. No need to curl, straighten, or blow dry too long. Natural drying is still beautiful. Stylist's tip: use a light texturizing cream, labeled pliable or flexible hold. Apply to damp hair, grip lightly with your hands to create natural mess. Avoid heavy or greasy products, they will make your hair lose its youthfulness. Trim? Every 5 to 6 weeks is enough to keep the shape. And you will love the regular refresh of your hair, a reminder that you are still growing. Magnifying glass. Tilted left Bixie and the psychological effect, not just changing the appearance, but taking back control. Bixie makes you feel more daring, dare to try, dare to live, dare to step out of your comfort zone. Young but not forced, because its texture creates energy. Modern and stylish, because you don't choose hair like everyone else, you choose hair like you. A haircut may not change the world, but it can change the way you enter that world. 5. Embracing natural texture. When you stop fighting and start shining. Perhaps one of the biggest lies the beauty industry has ever fed women is: your natural hair is not beautiful enough. If you were born with curly hair, you were told to straighten it. If you have straight hair, you should curl it for volume. If you have thin hair, get extensions. If you have gray hair, cover it up. We've been taught that natural hair is something that needs to be managed or fixed. But after decades of using straighteners, chemicals, and heavy products, many women walk into my salon and ask, "What if I stop?" The answer always makes them smile. You'll start to see yourself, really. True beauty doesn't come from control, it comes from agreeing with yourself. Your hair is an extension of who you are. And just like you, it changes, adapts, and has its own language. When you stop forcing your hair to fit, you're giving yourself permission to rest, physically, emotionally, and in your self-image. Embracing your natural texture, that is, letting your hair express itself. Whether it's curly, wavy, silver, or straight, it's all beautiful, if you let it be, without fighting it. Woman getting haircut. Ellen's story, from flat hair to a real smile. Ellen is a longtime client of mine, 58, and a former marketing director for a major corporation. In 25 years, I've never seen her walk into a salon without her hair being paper straight, glued to every strand. When I ask, "Do you ever let your hair breathe?" she smiles sadly. "When I leave it natural, it looks like I'm not in control." One day, after her hair started falling out from the chemicals and heat, Ellen was exhausted. She looked in the mirror and said, "I give up." I smiled and said, "No, you're not giving up. You're starting." We cut the damage, reconditioned the base, and used products to restore moisture. After a week, Ellen was back, softly wavy, a little bouncy, with a touch of gray, and very real. "I don't know why I didn't do this sooner," she said. "I feel like me." Microscope biological effects. Why natural hair shines brighter after 50. As we pass 50, the sebaceous glands on the scalp work slower, causing hair to dry out faster. Hair strands become thinner and more brittle, especially after prolonged chemical exposure. Melanin levels decrease, gray hair appears, texture also changes. Backhand index pointing right at this time, straightening, curling, and dyeing only make hair lose its natural elasticity, leading to breakage, loss of shine, feeling stiff, dry, and lifeless. When you stop using chemicals and heat, your hair has the opportunity to reabsorb moisture, rebalance the cuticle, re-reflect light better, move naturally and smoothly. In short, your hair looks more alive, because it is alive. Lotion bottle. How to care for natural hair to keep it looking healthy and chic. Contrary to popular belief, natural hair doesn't mean let it be, it means taking care of it properly. White heavy checkmark if your hair is wavy. Use curl enhancing cream after shampooing. Divide your hair into sections while it's still damp, and gently squeeze it dry with a microfiber towel or cotton shirt. White heavy checkmark if your hair is curly. Favor a light leave-in conditioner. Limit brushing when dry, only detangle when wet. Use a diffuser when blow-drying to maintain curls. White heavy checkmark if your hair is straight and thin. Dry your hair upside down to create volume. Apply a light shine serum to increase light reflection. Trim the ends evenly to avoid thin, rat tails. And if you have gray hair? Fear not. Gray hair is beautiful when you treat it like silk, moisturize, keep it shiny, and cut it neatly. Woman teacher Susan, 70, and the reunion with silver hair. Susan used to be a high school teacher. She came to the salon with thick, dyed black hair, dulled by too many chemicals. She whispered, "If I let it go gray, I'm afraid I won't recognize myself anymore." I smiled and said, "Exactly. Because you'll meet the most authentic version of yourself." 3 months later, Susan returned with wavy silver hair. I've never seen her so radiant. But what I remember forever isn't the hair. It's the light in her eyes. Direct hit mental benefits. It's not just hair, it's a freedom statement. When you accept your hair as it is, you stop comparing. You stop worrying about fixing it. You start loving yourself for who you are. I once heard a client say, "I feel like I'm fighting aging every time I dye my roots." I responded, "So why not stop fighting it?" The greatest freedom comes when you accept what you don't need to hide. 6. The soft shag, when every lock of hair speaks for you. After talking about the neatness of the blunt bob, the elegance of mid-length layers, the unconventionality of the Bixie, the softness of the fringe, you are probably thinking, so what if I want a hairstyle that is really individual, soft but still flexible to refresh myself? The answer is, the soft shag, a modern, artist hairstyle, both natural and intentionally messy, and absolutely suitable for women at the most beautiful time of freedom, age 50+. Woman getting haircut. What is a shag? And why is the soft shag the perfect version for middle age? The classic shag is a hairstyle with many short and long layers, creating a sense of freedom and personality. However, in middle age, the soft version of the shag is softened, more refined, making the face look softer and more lively, not wild like the previous punk rock style. Soft shag usually has the following characteristics. Thin, soft layers, falling naturally around the face. Combined with light bangs, side swept or curtain. Easy to dry naturally, creating light waves without tools. Suitable for many lengths, from chin to below shoulder. DNA. Why does this hairstyle help anti-aging without effort? Soft shag creates a feeling of Airy, light and airy around the face, helping the face not be weighed down by a large volume of hair. Dynamic, the layers create natural movement when you turn your head or walk, making you look more alive. Soft, hair hugs the cheekbones, chin, softening hard or slightly sagging lines due to age. Especially for people with thin hair or hair that has lost volume after menopause, this style recreates the feeling of fullness without the need for hot curling or using too many volumizing products. Open book Rachel's story, 62 years old and daring to mess up her hair for the first time. Rachel used to be a lawyer. Serious, neat, and a bit rigid with herself. For nearly 30 years, her hair was always straight, neatly cut, and without layers. On the day of retirement, she told me, "I have not known freedom all my life. Today, I want something that makes me not the same as yesterday." We chose a soft shoulder-length shag, with soft curtain bangs and some light balayage. A week later, Rachel sent me a photo. She was wearing jeans and sneakers, sitting in a cafe with the sun shining through her hair. The caption read, "I think I just turned 30. At 62. Direct hit customize your face and hair texture. Square/angular face choose a shag that falls from the cheekbones, add a fringe to soften the jawline. Round face keep the layer lower than the chin, create a long line to draw the face. Thin hair use light layers plus wave mousse to add texture. Light/natural curls use the existing waves to add movement. Soft shags celebrate the natural texture of the hair rather than trying to change it. That's why they fit perfectly with the effortless aging philosophy. Lotion bottle care, light, free, no fuss. A hairstyle that is meant to live in randomness will not require too much management from you. Just light curl cream if your hair is slightly curly or wavy. Gently blow dry with your hands, no comb needed. Dry shampoo to help maintain volume between washes. Trim every 8 weeks to keep the layered form neat and light. You don't need to blow dry, straighten, or curl every day. You just need to accept the natural movement, and your hair will do the rest. Beauty after 50 doesn't need permission. Through 5 chapters, we've gone through each hairstyle that not only changes your appearance, but awakens you. A sharp blunt bob that highlights the delicate features that lie dormant behind long, loose locks. A mid-length with long layers hairstyle that cleverly lifts the face while retaining the familiar gentleness. A gentle fringe that is enough to bring others' eyes back to those smiling eyes of yesteryear. A Bixie that is strong, purposeful, bold, and still very feminine, for the woman who no longer needs permission to shine. And finally, embracing your natural texture, is when you stop fighting your hair, your age, and the truth that you were, are, and always will be. All of these hairstyles have one thing in common. They don't try to turn you into someone else, they bring you back to yourself. Beauty after 50 is not about hair length, hair color, or cut. It's about your choices. Choose what makes you feel light, confident, and alive. Choose your hair, choose yourself. If one of these hairstyles makes you smile when you imagine yourself in it, share it in the comments. Type 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 to match your favorite hairstyle. Keycap 1 blunt bob. Keycap 2 mid-length layers. Keycap 3 fringe. Keycap 4 Bixie. Keycap 5 embracing natural texture. Backhand index pointing down. I read all the comments and would love to hear your story. Yellow heart. Remember, you're never too old to be gorgeous. You just need the right haircut, at the right time. And if that time is now, I'm happy to be with you.